Hey viewers, how are you all doing today? I hope you're great. Before we begin, take a second and hit that subscribe button because here, every coin tells a story. Stories of power, pride, and forgotten history. What you're about to hear isn't just about a piece of metal, but about a symbol that lives in the heart of every American pocket, the Washington quarter. Have you ever held a coin so ordinary that you never looked at it twice, not knowing that it carries decades of history within its shine? This is one of those coins, simple, small, yet timeless. The Washington quarter was first minted in 1932, created to honor the 200th birthday of George Washington, the very first president of the United States. Its creation marked more than just a celebration, it was a promise, a connection between America's past and its ever-changing present. On the front of the coin stands the proud left-facing profile of George Washington, designed by sculptor John Flanagan. His design was inspired by the famous French artist Jean-Antoine Houdon's marble bust of Washington, a piece that captured not only the man's face, but also the spirit of leadership and integrity that built a nation. Around it are words that define the American identity: liberty, in God we trust, and United States of America, with $quarter proudly marked below. For more than 60 years, from 1932 until 1998, this coin remained almost unchanged. It began as 90% silver, glimmering with real metal value. But as silver prices soared in the 1960s, the U.S. Mint had no choice but to replace it with a copper nickel. Blend, cheaper, lighter, yet still carrying the same soul. Then came 1999, a year that gave new life to the Washington quarter through the 50-state quarters program. Each year, new designs appeared on the back, celebrating the culture, history, and pride of each U.S. state. People began collecting them, not just for their value, but for the stories they told, the landmarks, the heroes, the memories. In 2009, the U.S. Mint released another special edition on the District of Columbia and U.S. Territories series, a tribute to the unseen, Corners of America. And from 2010 to 2021, the America the Beautiful Quarters program took collectors on a journey through breathtaking national parks and historical sites. Then, beginning in 2022, a new chapter began, the American Women Quarters program, honoring the courageous women who changed the nation's history forever. But among all these coins, some carry secrets. The 1932D and 1932S quarters are among the rarest and most valuable. Their limited minting making them treasures for collectors around the world. A coin with a mint error, a doubled strike, or perfect untouched shine can be worth thousands of dollars. What once bought a loaf of bread might now buy an entire collection.
Subscribe button, because every coin has a story. And today's story will make you feel the soul of America's heartland. Have you ever held a coin and wondered what silent promise it carries? What forgotten voice echoes through its cold metal? Sometimes it's not just a piece of change, it's a heartbeat from history, a whisper from time itself. In the quiet heart of America, where golden sunflowers bend beneath an endless sky and the wind sings through tall prairie grass, a creature once ruled the land, a bison, powerful, unbroken, eternal. This land was his kingdom, and every step he took stirred the dust of destiny. The year was 1861. Kansas had just joined the Union, born not in celebration, but in struggle. It stood at the edge of chaos, torn by the Civil War. Yet it chose the side of freedom. It was a choice not made by words, but by courage. That choice became its identity, unyielding, proud, and forever free. Decades passed. The roar of the plains faded into history, and the bison's thunder became a legend. Then in 2005, a coin was minted, a quarter unlike any before. On one side, the mighty bison returned, standing proud as if reclaiming its land. Beside it, the sunflower bloomed, gentle, radiant, but just as strong. Together, they told the story of Kansas, wild yet peaceful, scarred yet hopeful, silent yet powerful. Hold that Kansas quarter in your hand, feel its weight. It's not just metal, it's memory. It carries the heartbeat of a nation that once fought to stay whole. It holds the spirit of open skies, endless fields, and the courage of those who refuse to kneel before despair. And beneath it all, three small Latin words glimmer softly: E pluribus unum, out of many, one. A promise that no matter how divided the past, unity can always rise again, just like the sun over the Kansas plains. So the next time you find a Kansas quarter, Don't just spend it. Listen. In that faint metallic ring, you might just hear the wind of the prairie, the call of the bison, and the quiet oath of a nation that still believes in hope.
Before we begin this journey into the silver shadows of history, take a moment to subscribe, because every forgotten story deserves to be remembered. Have you ever held something so old, yet so alive, that it whispers the echoes of a war long gone? In the heart of Richmond, Virginia, where cannon smoke once choked the sky and brothers, stood on opposite sides of the battlefield, a single coin was born. Not for wealth, not for trade, but for conviction. It was the year 1861. The Confederate States of America had declared their independence, and Richmond had become their beating heart. Amid the thunder of war, hidden away from the world, a small mint worked quietly in the shadows. This was not a mint of power or empire. It was a forge of belief, fragile, desperate, defiant. From its fire came a silver coin, 1 ounce of 999 fine silver, engraved with the words, "Home of the Confederacy." It bore the years 1861 to 1865, the short, haunting lifespan of a nation that never truly lived. But this coin was never meant for trade. It was a silent promise, a symbol, carried by soldiers who marched through mud and fear, by mothers who waited in candlelit silence, by families who buried it beneath wooden floors, praying their sons might one day return to claim it. Then came the fall. The Confederacy crumbled, Richmond burned, and the dream turned to ash. Yet the coin remained, hidden beneath the dust of history, untouched, unspoken, waiting. Decades later, a gloved hand lifted it once more, not as money but as memory. It gleamed softly under the museum lights, its surface marked by time, yet still alive with story. Because sometimes, silver doesn't shine for its value. It shines for what it survived. A reminder that even the purest metal can tarnish under the weight of war, and still endure, whispering the echoes of a divided nation. Before we begin this incredible journey through history, don't forget to subscribe, because every coin holds a story, and every story deserves to be heard. Imagine holding a small piece of metal that carries the legacy of an entire state. The year is 2004, and America is celebrating its diverse past through one of the most beloved series ever created, the 50-State Quarters program. Between 1999 and 2008, the U.S. Mint released 5 new quarters each year, each one telling the story of a different state's pride, values, and heritage. When Iowa's turn came, the people chose to celebrate something that shaped not only their past, but their very identity, education. Released in 2004 as the 29th coin in the series, the Iowa State Quarter paid tribute to the moment the state joined the Union in 1846. But what truly makes this coin unforgettable is its design, inspired by the artwork of Grant Wood, the legendary American painter who gave us American Gothic. On the coin, a simple yet powerful image unfolds, a one-room schoolhouse standing under an open sky. A teacher and a student plant a young tree beside it. Together they symbolize growth, learning, and the belief that knowledge nurtures the soul of a nation. Etched below them are the words, "Foundation in Education," a phrase chosen by the people of Iowa themselves. It's not just a motto. It's a promise, a reflection of how deeply this state values learning and community. Iowa was among the very first states to champion public education for every child, long before it became a national standard. The coin was officially released on August 30th, 2004, struck at both the Philadelphia and Denver mints. Made of copper and nickel with its signature reeded edge, more than 450 million of these coins entered circulation, making it common in pockets, yet deeply treasured by collectors for its meaning and design. Even today, when you hold the Iowa quarter, you don't just see a coin. You see a story about roots, growth, and the power of knowledge to shape the future.